hope you all are doing really well. It feels like it's been such a long time since I've actually sat down and done like a proper like YouTube video. Life has just been lifing. I've been doing other things. I have like other projects that I work on like outside of crochet, and I've kind of been like neglecting those. So I've been kind of like focusing on those for the last couple of weeks. So I just haven't had a chance to sort of like sit down and film anything for you. But today I am going to be working on creating like a Christmas cardigan. Last night I just had this urge to make something Christmassy. I don't have a lot of like Christmas jumpers. I have one jumper, I think it's like green and white, and it's kind of like my go-to Christmas jumper. And I thought about buying like maybe another one or a cardigan, and I thought, no, come on Jen, you're a crocheter, why don't you make yourself one? So last night I was like having a quick look on like TikTok and Pinterest, looking at people's like Christmas jumper and cardigan designs, and there's some really cool ones out there, but I just don't think I've got the time to do something really elaborate. Like I've seen some really great ones. I'll pop some like pictures up on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. But today what I'm going to be working on is just like a granny square. I'm all about the granny squares and granny stitch at the moment. A granny square like cardigan. I'm going to be using just the yarn that I've got in my stash. Let me grab what I've got. So I've got this one here. This is the green. You might recognise this from my Devon vlog where I started making just kind of like a freehand jumper. I won't lie, I gave up with that. I think because it was just so repetitive, I got a bit bored. So I haven't actually gone back to that, and I think I'm just going to use this yarn for this Christmas cardigan design. And then the next one I've got, it's on the floor at the moment, is this yarn here. It's like a burgundy colour, and again I've had this yarn in my stash for years, so the plan kind of is that I'm just going to be using what I've got. I don't want to buy any yarn for this, particularly because it will just be a cardigan that I'm only going to wear like for 1 month of the entire year. I'm hoping to get a fair bit of wear out of it. And then I've got this cream colour here, so I'm going to be using the green, burgundy and like this cream, and have like alternating like basically granny squares. I'll also pop in a picture of the inspiration, and the pattern that I'm going to be following is by Hey Crochet, so I'll link that in the description box below. It's just, like I said, it's just really simple granny square cardigan, and I think it's something that I can probably kind of like whip together quite quickly, because I have another project, a couple of projects that I need to actually do before Christmas as well. My husband's cousin has asked me to make her little boy a Harry Potter crochet doll. So I've actually bought a kit, and that's coming, so I will make that for him for Christmas, and I'll film that as well, because it'd be quite a cool thing to kind of share for any Harry Potter fans out there. So the yarn weight that I've got, actually, so these two are Aran weight, and this one is slightly thicker, it's a bit more chunky. I was a little bit concerned that it might be too thick. I did make a start on this project last night, so I have 3 squares in the colour. So I think you can tell too much how much thicker this one is compared to the others. So the Aran weight ones, I ended up doing about 5 rounds to meet the required measurement, which I think is 5 centimetres per square. But I don't think when they're all together you'll tell. I did think about maybe kind of going down to a DK weight for the cream, because I have got some DK weight. But then I also was thinking that I might do like the border ribbing in this cream. So I think if I went down to a DK weight it would be too flimsy, whereas this is a lot kind of like thicker and sturdier. So hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. You won't have too many, it won't look too strange with kind of like one chunkier yarn than the others. So yeah, that is what we're going to be working on. I'm going to pop on a Christmas movie. I'm not normally somebody who's really into Christmas in November, but my kids are so on it this year for Christmas. Like literally Halloween ended and they were talking about Christmas. Like, well, how long is it until Christmas? When's Christmas? Is it going to be Christmas? Is it Christmas tomorrow? And I think because they've been so on it, I'm a bit more on it than I would be normally, and I've just been thinking about Christmas. I've even started my Christmas shopping, which doesn't normally happen until December. I am that chaotic mum who is panicking throughout the whole of December thinking, how am I going to get all of this stuff done? But this year I'm a little bit more prepared and I'm feeling a little bit more Christmassy. However, my Christmas decorations won't go up until December. But yes, I am going to pop on a Christmas movie and crochet some granny squares, see how many I can get done today, and yeah, let's get cracking. So I thought it might be quite a good idea to show you how to make a granny square in case you didn't already know. So if you wanted to go ahead and make a granny square cardigan as well, then you would be able to. So there are loads of tutorials out there on YouTube and on TikTok. But I thought I would just include my own in this video for you, so it sort of like all works together. So what we're going to do first is just create a magic loop. And to do that, I'm just going to wrap the yarn around my fingers like so, and then create a little X. And then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to pick up this bit of yarn here and then hook the yarn furthest away, and I'm literally just twisting to create a little loop. I'm going to pull this away so you can see, and then I'm just going to tighten this a little bit. And then what we're going to do now is we're just going to chain 3, and now I'm going to do 2 double crochets into this hole here. So I'm just going to wrap the yarn around the hook, place the hook into the hole, pick up the yarn and pull it up. Then I'm going to pick up the yarn again, and I'm going to pull through 2 loops, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops. I'm going to do that one more time. Wrap the yarn in through this hole, back onto this working yarn, hook it again, pull through 2 loops, pull 2 through loops. And then what I'm going to do is pull this little string and make this a little bit tighter. And now I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to double crochet again into the same hole here. I'm going to do 3 double crochets now. What we're creating are 4 corners for our granny square. So it will make a bit more sense as we go a little bit further along. I'm going to tighten that hole up a little bit more. And now we're going to chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over, through the middle hole, yarn over, and pull for 2 loops, yarn over, pull for 2 loops. I'm just going to do that 2 more times. 2 more double crochets, you can see it's starting to look a little bit more like a square. So we've got one corner, another corner, and then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then another cluster, double crochets into this little middle loop. So the way I think of them as little fans, but a lot of people call them clusters. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little clusters or little fans, and then I'm just going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 to create our last corner, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this little bit here. So we're just going to put our hook into this stitch, grab onto the yarn with our hook, pull that through, pull that through our working stitch, and there we go. And then what I'm going to do with this tail here, I'm just going to give it a good pull to tighten that up so it's all nice and tight, and then we're going to work on our second round. So we're going to chain 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work. So now the towel is facing us. And then what we're going to do, so this acts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochets into this corner. Then what we're going to do to make it a corner, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet back into that same corner hole. Got 2 little clusters or fans, 1, 2, this is the corner here, and now we're going to travel over to this corner. So what we're going to do, we're just going to chain 1, so this is kind of like our little extension, and then we're going to double crochet into this corner here. And in English terms for crochet, a double crochet is actually a treble crochet, but I work in US terms because most tutorials tend to be in US terms, and that's how I've learned. And then we're gonna do another chain 3, and then we're gonna double crochet again into that little corner here. Each cluster is 3 double crochets. So we've done another corner, and again we're just going to do our 1 chain to travel over a little bit further, and then insert our hook into that corner and do our 3 little clusters of double crochets. And what's nice about granny square is that they are really repetitive. It's just nice to do. 3 chains, and the more you do, the better you get. Like everything, like all crochet, the more you do it, the better you get. Another treble chain, clusters. Corner stitch here. A cluster of 3 double crochets, and then 3 chains, and back in with another set of 3 double crochets. So here we are back at the beginning again. So we're just going to chain 1, and then we are going to slip stitch into this one here, so that's right at the top. Here we go, all joined, and then we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to turn our work. So we're going to take this little down, and that's going to now face the floor. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets into our starting loop, I suppose. And our first double cluster, chain 1 to travel over into that corner, and then we're going to start again, working our way around the granny square. And you can make them as big or as small as you want. And we're going to chain 3 to create our corner, and back into this hole here. As you can see, as you go around, so you've got your corners, and then there's like a little middle section here. So in this middle section, so we do our 1 travelling stitch or chain, and then we're going to put a cluster of 3 double crochets into this middle stitch. Travelling chain so that we get over to our corner, and then 2 clusters of our double crochets going in each corner. So all you have to remember with granny squares is that every corner will have 2 clusters of double crochet. Each cluster is 3 double crochets, and then any middle stitch that you have, or any middle hole, will just be a cluster of 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and cluster. And as you kind of, each time you kind of increase in the corner, it makes your granny square bigger. They're actually really simple, and they're really, really great. A great way to kind of create garments, blankets. A real, say, staple when it comes to crochet. And it was, other than the chain, it was the first thing that I kind of really learned how to do. I thought to myself, well, if I can just nail a granny square, then I can probably do anything. Square so I can kind of show you this hasn't been too hard to see. Kind of corner. And then we're just going to slip stitch into that very top stitch there. And then to kind of tie that off, what you would then do is just do a single chain, and I pull that really tight and then snip the yarn off. But that's it, that's just a basic granny square. So I'm going to add on another round to make it the right size for my cardigan, but I really hope that was helpful. Hi guys, so it is now a week later, sort of like on from starting this project, and we've got a few kind of like granny squares like on the go, and I have also decided to add in an extra colour. So with these pattern that I'm following, for the arms, let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. For the arms, basically it's 4 really big granny squares. Oh, where's the other way gone? I've only done 2 so far. 4 big granny squares, and because I was only using 3 colours, I started to think, oh, I don't want to have too much of the same kind of like colour. I don't want, like, say, too much green or too much red on the arm. So I thought about adding in like an extra colour. So we've gone for this blue. So I thought what might be quite nice, in like place of like say one of the green squares, we would then add in like a little bit of like blue. I'm just going to take these off of here. I think because these are a slightly smaller square but thicker yarn, keeping on here like helps to stretch them out a little bit more. So the idea is that there's like 6 squares across the like the front, and I thought it might be quite good to kind of do like something like that. So I have like 2 front panels like identical, and then along the back kind of just mixing this blue like here and there. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think that's like a good is that a good idea? I don't know. So obviously, like at the moment, I'm just going to flip you around. Excuse the crazy. I'm currently just sitting in my son's room. He is off school sick at the moment, and his bedroom is like the only kind of big enough floor space that we've got where it's quiet or quietish, apart from we've got like a little fish tank in the corner. So if you can hear that little buzzing, that's what that is. Yeah, so I don't know. Obviously, is the blue a bit of a weird colour to add to a Christmas cardigan? I don't know. I keep seeing everywhere like the Ralph Lauren Christmas, and they have like blues mixed in with their tartans. I think it looks really, really nice. So I thought maybe I could add a little bit into my cardigan and it wouldn't look too bad. It's really hard to kind of gauge at this point because obviously they're just like little squares that I'm just like laying out until I've kind of like seamed it all together and put on like the band, like the button band, and excuse me, I'm trying to like hold this up, yeah, the button band and the ribbing. It's really hard to kind of visualize how it might look, but I think the blue might be quite nice. I think ideally the blue would be a little bit darker to kind of like offset the deep dark red, and I think maybe the green would have been better if it was a bit darker. But again, I'm just trying to use up like yarn that I've got in my stash. So yeah, this is kind of like where we are with our Christmas jumper. So I've got enough for the front panels. I've done 2 arm panels, and then so I know I need about 15 squares for the back. So I've still got a little bit of a way to go. It's kind of like my main project that I need to kind of get finished, or want to get finished. And then I have another project in the pipeline. There'll be a video coming out for that. And then also I did mention, I think at the start, that I've got a little Harry Potter plushie that I need to do as well. Obviously deadline for that is Christmas. We'll see them on Boxing Day. So worst case scenario, if I don't get that done by Christmas Day, I can do Christmas Day crochet. Why not? Although I hope not. That'd be fine. Like last year for Christmas, what did I do? I just overstretched myself a little bit. I had so many projects that I needed to get done this year. I have limited myself. I randomly decided to do this cardigan, and then this other project video that will be coming out in this Harry Potter. So it's not too much, and I've still got 1 more week of November. So I'm hoping if I can crack on with this cardigan, we'll get that finished in the next couple of weeks, or next week or so. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go back downstairs now, sit with my son, do some crochet, maybe have some lunch, and then pick daughter up from school. So I'll catch up again with you guys maybe on Thursday. So yeah, it's currently Monday. Yeah, let's see how many squares I can do. I timed myself the other day, and it takes me about 20 minutes to do each square, which is, I suppose, it's quite long. I know some people can crochet a lot quicker, but I find that if I crochet too fast, my hands start to hurt and I get a bit of pain in my shoulder. So 20 minutes is kind of like a leisurely pace for me. So yeah, let's see what we can get done. Also, this is our little fish, guys. So this is Stevie the stickleback. She lives by herself because she's a little terror. She likes to attack other fish. Somehow we went from having no fish to having Stevie the stickleback. We got her a tank, put some little friends in there. She attacked the friends, so we took Stevie out, and now we have 2 tanks. I'll have to show you our other tank downstairs. That was a little bit more interesting. So Stevie lives by herself, and she just lives in this tank in my son's bedroom. And she doesn't really do much. She likes to hide behind this plant. Hi guys, happy 1st of December. It's now officially countdown to Christmas, and we're now on week 3 of our Christmas cardigan project. Over the weekend we popped our Christmas decorations up, so I've got my tree up, and I went out this morning because I had to get a few more Christmas presents, and Mondays are my only day without my daughter, so she goes to nursery, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, and Thursdays she's off at home with me, and then I work the other days. So today was my only day to kind of really get out and get some Christmas presents when she's not around. And I've also bought myself a new garland because I normally put a little garland up my stairs because our living room's not very big, so and went and bought a nice new one of those, and then I'll put, let me spin this around, we put our Christmas tree up as well. Sorry for the lighting, the weather is really horrible outside at the minute. As you can see, it's just been raining really heavily today. It's been rainy and windy. I got blown about all over the place when I was out, but I've got what I needed to do done this morning, and now I'm home. I've got a little bit of time that I can kind of sit and do a little bit more to this project. But first of all, I want to show you kind of like where I've got up to. Again, apologies for the awful lighting. I'm just going to get down onto the floor. So I've got my little basket of squares, and I currently have to do, I need to finish off this little square, and then create another blue square, big square for the arm, and then I'm also working on the big green square for the arm, and then that's all of the squares done. And then I thought about, rather than kind of neatly sewing up all of the squares together so you can't see the seams, I was thinking about doing attaching all the squares with a slip stitch, because I thought, one, it would be a lot quicker than trying to sew them all together, and two, I wanted to add in like an extra colour. So I did say that I wasn't going to be buying any extra yarn. However, I loved the idea of having a blue, like a dark blue, so I don't think you can see that, let me get over into the sunshine, a little sunshine, into the natural light a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's basically a navy blue. Picked this up from Hobbycraft, I think it was like £1 something or other. So that's the plan, is to basically attach all of the squares together with a slip stitch, and have like just a nice bit of like deep blue detailing all the way across the cardigan. And then I'm still going to do the button band and the cuffs, I think, in the cream, along with like the ribbing at the bottom. But I think that'll be really nice. So I'm hoping, so today's Monday, I should get all of the squares done today, and then hopefully I can make a start on, I suppose, slip stitching all of the squares together, because I would really like to have this done by the weekend. Like I said, this is week 3 of this project and it's just taking so long, and I've got other things that I need to kind of crochet as well. I don't know if I'm probably not the only person that does this, but I find I kind of get into December and then start thinking about all these different projects that I can make people, and then obviously you don't have that many weeks before Christmas to kind of get stuff done, and like obviously I work 3 days a week, I'm a mum, and I just have a lot kind of going on, and December is so busy. Oh my goodness, I filled out my calendar for this month and it's just chock-a-block with stuff that's going on, although I do have half a week off before Christmas, so hopefully if there's anything left to do, I'm going to get that done that week. I know I've mentioned previously that I've got to crochet a Harry Potter, I've got a kit for that, and then I thought maybe I could crochet a Harry Potter scarf. I'm quicker at crochet than I am knitting, so I think crocheting a scarf would be a lot quicker. So that is a possibility, but I'm not going to say that's something I'm definitely going to do. And then I found out that my 2-year-old nephew is really into Julia Donaldson at the moment, and his favourite book is Superworm. So and my sister-in-law told me that they saw some really nice pajamas, but they're all out of stock. So I thought I might be able to get some off of eBay, and then I might crochet him a Superworm cuddly toy. So that's something else. And then I'm also planning on making Daisy a cardigan. So yeah, how am I going to do this? And it's the 1st of December before like Christmas, I don't know. So like I said,
goal number 1 is finish this cardigan. Goal number 2 is to do Harry Potter, but Harry Potter is going to be a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so before I sit here and ramble on further, I think I'm going to pop on another Christmas movie. I'm getting through Christmas movies at the moment. I just keep saying to myself, if I am Christmassy, I'm going to be organised. So that is what that is my plan. So I'm going to finish these squares. I have now got an hour and a half to crochet before I have to go on the school run. Yeah, let's see what we can get done. I will check in with you a little bit later. Now just slipped into week 4 of this project, and I've finally got some like decent things to show you with the cardigan. So I have officially sewn together all of the squares. Originally I was going to slip stitch them all in a contrasting colour, however I did one sleeve and it looked horrendous, so I chose to sew them all together. So we have the whole of the cardigan kind of sewn together as a whole now, and I also have my cuffs complete on both sides, and I have just started working on the bottom ribbing. I think this is going to take me so long to do because just doing these cuffs took quite a long time. So I think doing like the ribbing all across the bottom is going to take me a really long time to do. However, it is going to look really good when it's done. And then after that, it is just doing the button band, which I think, I haven't checked the pattern, but I think it might just be like either a half double crochet or a double crochet button band. So that shouldn't take too long. And then it will be finished. I was a bit concerned because I kind of tried it on and I was like, oh, it's very cropped, and I prefer my cardigans just to be a little bit longer just because they're a bit more snuggly, but I think with this long ribbing across the bottom it will work out all right, and once I've blocked it as well, hopefully it'll kind of like stretch out a tiny little bit. So it's looking good that I will get this project finally finished by the end of this week, and it's now like the 8th of December, so time is ticking on. And then I decided that I wanted to make teacher gifts. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm literally just going to make them all some little bookmarks, which is something I made for a Secret Santa present last year, and I also want to make my 2 friends little bookmarks as well to go with their gifts. So yeah, I keep adding stuff. This is what happens every single December. I add stuff to my list of already long crochet products or knit projects, and I'm starting to get, I think, crochet's elbow it is starting to hurt. So once I have finished all of my crochet projects, I'm going to sit back and relax and maybe just pick up the knitting needles. That's a lot less strenuous on my elbows and hands and shoulders. So yeah, I'll carry on with this, so I think, through the evenings. Yeah, all it is, the ribbing is really simple. It's just a single crochet into the back loop. Just carry on as you go all the way along. That's why it takes so long, because you kind of go up and back down, and then you slip stitch and then back up again. It's mega long, but I'm actually really pleased with how it's kind of coming together, and the colours I think are quite festive without being too like in your face festive wise. And as we are in December now, I've actually picked up a Christmassy festive read. I'm just going to go grab it to show you. So my festive read for the month of December, I've actually got two. I bought, my friend bought me an advent calendar book. I should go and get that as well. But this one I wanted to kind of speak about mainly because I actually read this as a beta read for a friend of mine. I don't actually know her in person, but I know her online, and I've been kind of like online friends with her for years. And she writes kind of contemporary books, romance books. They're all closed door, so if you're not into like smutty books and you like closed doors, I would highly recommend Courtney's books. So this book that I'm reading is called Christmas Games and Candy Canes, and it's just so Christmassy. It's one of those books that is just Christmas in a book, I promise. And it's basically about two old high school rivals who are back home for Christmas, and their town is throwing their first kind of like Christmas games. And so what I mean by Christmas games is they'll go and have like evening events where they do like trivia or candy cane races, or building like graham cracker houses. I'm not too sure. We don't have graham crackers here in the UK, but I think that's quite similar to our digestive biscuit. Anyway, and like things like that, and it's just such a lovely Christmassy read. And obviously like where they're kind of like bumping into each other and spending a bit more time getting to know each other, they kind of like almost bury the hatchet and kind of, I suppose, fall in love. And it is, yeah, it's really, really good. So I will pop a link in the description for this book from Amazon. Full disclosure, I did buy this myself. She sent me, like I said, a beta read, and I read this back in the summer, I think, and I obviously enjoyed it because I'm reading it again for Christmas, and I don't normally reread books in the same year, so that says something. So yes, if you're looking for a Christmassy read, please have a look at this book. Okay, let me go get my advent calendar book, 1 second. So yeah, my second Christmas read is this one. It's called A Heart for Christmas, and it is an advent romance. So basically you open a page a day. So we are now like, so they're all like sealed. Sorry, it's all back to front, and I film these on my phone. I should get a camera. But you open them, they're all sealed, and then you open them each day. And yeah, it's a really sweet, clever idea. The story is about a girl called April. She had a long-term illness. She has like a heart defect, and she had a heart transplant like 1.5 years ago. And she's very, I suppose, timid and kind of shy, and doesn't really want to, I suppose, live her life as she should. And I think this is all about her. She goes and spends Christmas with her dad. I think it's set in France. So she's basically spending Christmas with her dad, and she's meeting like old friends. I suppose slowly learning to live her life like a normal teenager. It's quite sweet, quite slow going, but I suppose if it is a case that you're literally opening a chapter a day is going to be quite slow. But on the whole, I think it's just a really sweet concept, and I hope to see like more books kind of like do this in the future. So yeah, let's carry on working on this cardigan, and then the next time I see you, hopefully I'll have a completed cardigan.
All finished. So I finished it off officially this morning. I sewed on the little buttons, so I've just chosen some little tortoise shell buttons, and then I finished all the ribbing and the button band last night, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. The only thing is I didn't really think about when I was placing the squares that I would have two cream squares right next to each other, but it's under the armpit, so it's not a big deal. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I haven't blocked it as of yet. I'll probably just kind of wear it, and then when I come to wash it, then I'll probably block it. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've been wearing it all morning, so we went to my son's nativity and I wore it for that, and then I've been out shopping with Daisy and again wore it. But yeah, I've basically been wearing it all morning. It's really comfortable to wear, and I think I really like the fact that I chose to do the cuffs in the cream because it is that much thicker yarn. It just has a bit more structure, and yeah, so I think I'm going to be wearing this to work tomorrow as well, because we can now officially wear Christmas jumpers to work. So I'll be wearing this kind of like at work, and yeah, getting the most wear out of a project that has taken me 4 weeks to complete. But I'm really happy overall with how it's turned out. So coming up over the next kind of like few videos, I'm going to be working on the Harry Potter doll, and then I'm thinking that I might do a few kind of like festive days with me, because this weekend we should be going to a Christmas market, and then I've got a couple of days off next week, and I need to do some like Christmas wrapping, and I'm also doing Christmas Eve boxes this year, so it might be quite cute to kind of show you what I'm going to pop into those. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a little thumbs up. It means the absolute world to me, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. And if you want to, hit subscribe, because again, that will really help me out. And yeah, thank you again, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye.